So this one is the overview part of the naval architecture. And this is the book we are covering. And the book has the chapter names like this. And we start from the beginning. So you see that important keyword in here. Right? So each one you need to understand what is the meaning, because it's not popular wording. So what is naval architecture? Engineering discipline, design with design, construction, maintenance, and operation of marine vessels and structures. A naval architect is a engineer for naval architecture. So it's similarly the Navy's architect in old days. So this is a picture coming from Battle of Actium or Actium. And under the picture, you see that after Julius Caesar's assassination on the March in BC 44, you see that this is before Jesus Christ is born. So there was a war between Marcus Antonius and Octavian. And probably this battle was in middle Mediterranean near the Egypt. But you see that there is already big ship is built, and there was a big fight between big ships. Also, you can see that there is no engine there, and also wooden ships with a row and some wind sailing. Anyway, the structural size and skills they use is very high in old days, more than 2,000 years ago. And basic wording, something like a bow and stern, is very special. You can see from the right-hand side, the positioning names. Bow is the front part of the ship. Stern is back part of the ship. And port side and starboard side is for the left-hand side of ship is the special name of port side. And right-hand side is we call it the starboard side. Any ship. So it's a given name. And you may understand that every ship has, if they go into the port, they need touch their left-hand side of the ship to the land side of the port, the berthing. So that every ship has a bow and stern is the same direction. Right? Then the right-hand side, you can see the stars in every night, right? Because right-hand side should be a open sea for every ships at the port, so that they can expect there should be stars. So they call this is starboard. All right. And then draft and depth and freeboard. This at the right-hand side, this is a typical section of the ship in the middle. And there is a deck. We call this is a main deck. There are several decks of the ship. There should be a main deck, and up to main deck, we call this is a depth of the ship. The total length from the bottom to the main deck is a depth. And then depth is divided into draft and freeboard. And water level is here. So draft is maximum depth that the ship can be immersed into. submerged into water. So that means that cargoes can be loaded up to this limit of draft. So draft is the vertical distance from the water level down to the lowest point of the ship, so the bottom of the ship. And midship is at center of the ship in length. Midship is center of the ship in the lengthwise. And freeboard, this one is a requirement by the regulatory body or government for the safety of the ship, because every ship owner wants to load more cargo to get more money out of them. That's why it is the freeboard is minimum freeboard is regulated by the authority. And so deck is a horizontal structure like a floor or ceiling of the building, and bulkhead is a wall of the building. So between room, there's a wall, right? Shell is outside the skin of the ship. Inner bottom and double bottom. Bottom is a kind of deck floor, right? But double bottom means at the very lowest point of the ship, there is a lowest floor. We call this double bottom. You see from this picture there. The right-hand side, you see that there is a tank top. We call this is double bottom. But there is a two skins called as a double bottom of the ship. In old days, there is no double bottom, but because ship has many grounding, touching at the bottom many times, or there is a rocks, so that the bottom can be damaged, so that water is coming into the ship. That's why most of ship has two bottoms, double skins at the bottom side. So we call this double bottom. And each floor can be, they call the deck. And the main deck is here. So main deck can be, what's this? Is this platings? Plating means ship is made of steel plate, and steel plate is coming from the steel company, such as POSCO of Korea. And then at the shipyard, they putting together the steel plate to make the ship. So when there is a large area, then each steel plate is placed here, the whole plate, and they are welded together. But around the boundary, the steel plate should be cut into the shape of the ship. And then each ship has many frames, which is very similar to the, what is this? The human body at the chest. There is a bone chest bone. And that is similar to this frame. Right? We call this a transverse frame. And also there is a longitudinal frames too. There are more structures. All right. And weight. This weight is very complicated ones. Anyway, the whole weight of the ship is a total weight. And total weight of the ship is made of lightweight and dead weight. And lightweight is the ships when there is no cargo there. So we call this empty weight. So usually when the ship is newly built or finished by the shipyard, this is very new ship and there is no cargo. So we may say this is the weight of the ship at that time is a lightweight. Also, you may think about truck, cargo truck. When the truck is new from the automotive company, just delivered to the owner of the cargo truck. The cargo truck is very empty at the time. So that at the time, that weight of the truck is we call the lightweight of the truck. Very similar to ships. And then you can see that dead weight means how much cargo you can carry, the maximum weight of cargo you can carry. And payload is very similar to the dead weight. But usually the Navy ships use this one as payload. Something like the cargo weight load, you need to pay the money to bring, to transport. But because the items inside the ship is very many hundreds and thousands of different kind of items are loaded into the ship, including liquid, something like water, fuel, lubrication oil, chemicals, and then including sanitary, and also what else? And then there's a human body, there are carriers, there are clothes, there are food, and cargo, and also equipment, and also bedroom, toilet, and kitchen, and restaurant. So many different kinds. So the weight items is very many. It is not easy to calculate them together. But anyway, you need to calculate as a designer. And then history. The old Egyptian used a ship along the Nile River. And it is up to 3000 BC area. So including 2000 after BC birth of Christ is, we say that 5000 before now is they use already ships like a length of 44 meters, made of wood, and they found this buried ships in here in the right hand side, the dark colored, very long nose ship, and with and then the Greek ships after Egyptian, and Phoenicians and also Greeks were very well-known shipbuilders, and also navigational skills at the ancient Mediterranean world, including the Battle of Actium I showed you to you. There's a Roman, right? So Roman is after Phoenician and Greeks. Right? So historic shipbuilding, and there is a terminology is very special because of this old history. And I guess this is the final for today. The Archimedes, and the building I stay in Christ campus is named as Eureka building. It's called Eureka building because of this Archimedes. And he was in 300 years ago before Christ was born. And he is famous. You may remember that the crown, gold crown, you see from the picture at the bottom, right? Can somebody say the history of what is the picture meaning here? This is because this is the final slide for today. Oh, Yasin, you raised the hand.
Yeah, I think he found a way to measure the length of a circle, and then he said Eureka, because he found the solution. He was in his bathroom.
Right. Right. But there was some kind of a dispute around a gold crown. Can you remember this?
I don't remember.
Some other student? Anybody? I remember there was some dispute. Seungyu, did you raise your hand or?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
A king to order to him find out the crown made by gold or not. So to find there is any impurity in the gold and in the crown, he feels so confused. When he entered to bed, he find out if any impurity in gold, the water remaining water is same gold mass. I don't know the English. Okay. So to find out any impurity in the gold, so it have a same gold mass, so same crown and a gold put the bed.
Right. Almost. Right. So the dispute was, yes, the king want to make a crown out of a very pure gold, but the crown maker, was not so good to use the pure gold. He may use only other material, like a silver, or I don't know. He mixed into the pure gold so that so the Archimedes want to find out whether the crown was made with a pure gold or not. But what he's trying to do, because the crown was already made, right? Crafted, so he could not melt down again to find out the other material inside. Somebody remember what was the problem at the time, and how to the Archimedes want to measure?
Okay, he checked the amount of water overflowed.
Right. To measure the weight of the crown, because the shape of the crown was very complicated, right? So it's not easy to measure, because there was a good scale measuring device at the time. Nowadays it's okay. You can use a very good scaling system, weight measuring system. But at that time, there was no such device. So he figured out how to measure the exact weight of the crown to find out whether this is a pure gold or not. That was the idea behind. So let's see the picture again. Right, this one. Right. So when you see measuring in old days, you need to have a known object like this as a black sphere here. you may already know what is the weight of this black balls. Then you can compare this with gold crowns. Very similar to this. He has a bathing inside the water, then water level is going up and your weight is losing inside water. Very same as so that by comparing the water levels coming from crown and also the black balls, he can measure the exact weight of the gold crown to find out the purity of the gold. All right, that's enough for today. But this is related with how the weight of the ship is measured at the sea. And then the weight gives you the cargo money by carrying the cargoes, and also safety of the ship, because the overweight or the center of gravity is too high, then the ship is not safe, stable. We'll see more in later stage of the class. Right? Any other questions? No? Then we'll see you next Tuesday at the campus and classroom on site.
Maybe I need to introduce how the homepage works.
Right. I forgot. But the time is over. We can do it the next time. The website and YouTube. All right. Sorry, I missed to have the time. So next Tuesday again, we'll see the website and YouTube channels. All right. Then see you. Bye. Bye now.
Thank you, Professor.
Thank you.
Thank you. Goodbye.